even up to today, some people think, like, for example, when you're coming from a music video world, it's different, like, you get to the film. You always refer to, is your music video? But it is exactly the same thing. The same ideology that we use here. If you're using color theory, and that's why we get a lot of color theory. If I'm using a music video and I'm shooting a person where I'm using colored lighting, I'm using complementary colors. I'm using either red and green. I'm using yellow and something green, either making triadic color choices, analogous color schemes. I have to use a color theory, and it helps because when I get to a scene, for example, it's a club scene, and I'm like, and the gaffer is in charge of electrical lighting, and they ask me, wataka color gani huku na huku na huku na huku? So the easiest way to mix up the colors is to work with complementary colors or a triadic color scheme. And there's a very cool page. It's called Adobe Color. Adobe Color. Just Google Adobe Color, and you get there. It has a color wheel. So I can use a triadic color scheme, and I choose color red. So for example, I'll say the first light put color red. So when I choose their color red, it will give me either the complementary color. Yes. Maybe the complementary color for red is green. If we did our primary school color wheels, primary colors and all that. So for red, it's green. So I'll be like, there put red, there put green. And if I'm working maybe with a triadic color scheme, I might even as well push it to blue. So I'll be like, maybe on the third light, put blue. Yeah. And I'm just using an app. It's a very interesting app. So I can either move the colors, I can move the saturation. So I choose the color and I say I want complementary. So complementary is good because it's easier for our eyes because we're used to, when it's dawn, it's always very, in the morning, it's very bluish. And at the sunset, it's very orangish. So those are complementary colors. So when you use those complementary colors, it gives
but there's a lot of psychology to this.
Yes, it gives you an easier way. And most of our blockbusters movies, they're either, from today, just check, they're either using complementary colors, which is usually the teal and orange, which is either the blue or orange. If you look at the Transformers, everything, just notice here, it is either orange or blue because it's very easy for your eyes. And it gets even crazier. We're talking about lighting. Yeah. We push the same thing to wardrobe and production design. What am I saying? If, for example, I'm in a house. I'm in a house and most of my house is made up of green colors. Maybe the bed sheet is green. The walls maybe a little shades. It can be shades. We have more than 1 billion colors, but it can be different shades of green. And I'm having this lady who's sitting here on the couch like me, sitting facing the camera. If I'm trying to make a decision in terms of what color the lady can wear, by now you can guess. I can just put her on a complementary color. I can put her on green. So I'm having the background on red and green. So it's called a color contrast.
You know, dude, like when you're saying it, I'm just like, it's so well thought of. I didn't think, so hold on, at this time, are you studying lighting?
At this time, yes, I'm studying lighting and I'm starting to understand color theory.
So you are doing it just instincts?
Yes, instincts too.
When the music video games.
Yeah, instincts.
You're like, it feels nice.
It feels nice, but I don't know when it feels nice. Kumbe, there's a science to it. And when I'm going back and looking at the colors, when I'm even going back looking at what I was doing for like Nishike, like Chimano's scene where we had a little bit of colors, and I'm looking at the colors and I'm like, it's a triadic color system. But for me, looking at it, it just felt right. Because even there on set, we're trying to move colors. Yes. If you put yellow, so you also have to have a good taste.
That's funny.
You also have to good taste.
But it's like but also I'm not, for you, I can't deny there's some natural gifting that you have with this space. Because I get what you're saying, and I'm just like, that's brilliant.
And we choose it. So now it's working. As the head of department of DOP, the camera, director of photography, it's the same thing. It's just different people call it DOP. The other places they call it the cinematographer. Yes, it's just how you want to feel. But it's the same thing. Yes. So I'm also hand in hand. I'm the eye of the director. The director has a vision. They're like this scene. This.
Who was the director for Supermodo?
Likarion Wanaina. He's a brilliant guy. So he's like, this is my vision. I want it like this. So for me, I'll work hand in hand with the wardrobe. So these are the two regions where I'll talk about 3 regions where they play a very big role in terms of the look of the film. I'll be hand in hand with the production design. Sets. So we'll choose the color of the seats. So when they put the seats, they can as well talk to me or even the director. And they'll be like, hey, Enos, I'm putting a yellow scene here. Will it work? I'm like, okay, yellow, what's the background? What do you have? I'll suggest, I'll be like, if you're doing yellow, don't put the ones which have stripes. Put a monochromatic one, so it's easier for me to light. I'll talk with the wardrobe. I'll go to the wardrobe and I'll be like, don't give me shirts which have very small patterns, because they start to do something called a moya, which is banding. You see, now when I'm having a shirt which has a lot of patterns like checkerboard, if the patterns are too small, the camera sensor will not able to
pick them up proper.
Yeah, pick them up proper. So what you'll start seeing some bandings. So it's on the shirt tunaanza kuona some. It's banding, so that the sensor is really not trying to. It's actually not getting it vizuri. So I'll be like, don't give me very small patterns. Give me more bigger patterns. Give me more monochromatic patterns. Don't give me a lot of white for this scene because it will be too
reflective
and all that. And
all this is pre-production meeting.
This is pre-production.
So this is not just for guys to know. This is not happening at on the day.
No.
At makeup.
This is actually 2 months before we even start shooting.
Oh, okay.
And we go do camera
step by step.
Yes. And now even for me, as a head of department, I'm sitting down my team, which has the first assistant director, who's there's a focus puller, there's a second AC.
AC standing for?
Assistant camera. So assistant camera, as it said, the first AC can also be called sometimes a focus puller, because the one who's pulling the focus. So now when I'm shooting at this time,
movies are shot with one camera.
Yeah, some.
No, what I mean is we're not doing 2 camera shoots. You see the way we're shooting CTA?
Yeah.
We have a 1 camera.
So now for that one we did 2 cameras, but we're doing 2 different units. But for one scene, we're covering it with 1 camera.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Wide close up, we're changing, and it all has to look as if you're.
So you run this way, okay, done.
Yes.
Now we are going to run again, but then we'll move the camera to this other angle.
Yes.
You can change lenses and all those things.
Yes. So the first and the second AC are the ones who are in charge of changing the cards, changing the lenses. I'm having a focus puller. My work is just framing, and I can actually be a director of photography
without even
touching the camera. I can decide I'm not shooting.
So you're just looking at that car.
Yes, you can have an operator. So for me, I'm just making decision. I mean, like, that light is too much, but me, I love operating. I'll be the one operating it. So I'm having that team. I'm having the lighting team who are also directly under me. I'm talking about the lighting, the gaffer. We have people called the gaffer, the grip, the best boy electric, best boy grip. There's a electric guy who's in kazi yake is just the generator. There's a guy kazi yake is just power. There's a guy whose work is only doing the dolly, pushing the dolly forward. So
there's a guy who's backup footage.
Yes.
Footage is ipote.
Footage, that it's called a DIT. Digital intermediary.
In fact, unajua nani anafanya hiyo kazi hapa? Ni mimi. Let's stop here for a sec so we don't lose our footage.